Today I'm going to be doing a Mini Itx build in the NZXT H210. This is a great budget case, especially in the Mini Itx form factor. It is one of the larger ITX cases out there, but the ITX, it's still a small case and it's just a great form factor. Usually ITX is pretty expensive to build. Usually the motherboards are very expensive. And if you have to use a small form factor power supply, which this case you can choose between both normal ATX power supply or the small form factor or SFX power supplies, those power supplies are typically pretty expensive. So going ITX typically can be pretty expensive. However, if you go on the used market, like I did on this build, you can save a lot of money. Both the graphics card, the motherboard, and the CPU are used parts. I have the Ryzen 5 1600, which I picked up for 50 bucks. This motherboard is an X370 motherboard. This I picked up for $70 on eBay. And this RX 474GB from MSI, I also picked up for $70 on eBay. So the combination of a 6-core 12-thread processor from Ryzen and this RX 470, we're going to have a really nice 1080p gaming PC to play a lot of modern titles that are popular right now. And being in the ITX form factor, the case can fit on pretty much any desk, so you don't have to sit it on the floor, which you should never do. So I'm going to go ahead and do a brief run through of the rest of the parts, and then we're going to go ahead and start building it. I'm going to do a little build montage for you with some music, then we'll go into the benchmarks, and then I'll wrap up the video after that. So for the rest of the parts that we have here, I did pick up a 3-pack of RGB fans from EZDIYFAB. These are fans that both Jay's 2 Cents and my friend at Coalition Gaming has recommended. Power supply I got off of EVGA's Midweek Madness sale. This is a 650 watt power supply. It's not modular in any way, so we are going to have some ugly cables to deal with. Hopefully, if the case will allow me to fit it, I plan on using these red and black sleeve cables. We do have these nice sticks of RAM from Crucial Ballistics. This is 3200 megabits, 2x8 sticks, so 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then we have a 500 gigabyte NVMe SSD. This is the Western Digital Black. It does have the DRAM cache, so very nice SSD that we're going to be working with. So those are all the parts. Roughly, we spent about $500 total on everything. The case was brand new, these fans are brand new, the RAM and the SSD are all new. Everything else is used, so that saved us a lot of money, and we're going to have a great 1080p gaming PC. So let's go ahead and start building it, and we'll see how it performs after that. All right, guys, as you can see, this build does a great job in performing well in 1080p with a lot of great modern titles. The RX 470 at $70 and below is a great value. It just shows you what kind of performance you can get on the used market. The Ryzen 5 1600, it shows its age, but it is a 6-core 12-thread processor, and I only got it for 50 bucks on the used market. And overall, for $500, I think you get a great performing job, and it's in the ITX form factor, which ITX is very expensive. Luckily with this NZXT H210, I was able to save quite a bit of money because it does take ATX power supplies. A lot of these small ITX cases will only take an SFX power supply, and typically those are expensive. However, I did get one on a really good deal on EVGA's midweek madness sale, and I am actually going to be doing another ITX build, I think in the Cooler Master NR200P. So if you're interested in these ITX builds and you're looking for some budget-friendly builds, definitely subscribe because I'm going to be doing a little bit more ITX builds here in the future. But if you're not really interested in the ITX form factor, you can save more money on this system by going to, say, Micro ATX or ATX. Micro ATX probably being the cheapest option for you, with lots of value cases being in the Micro ATX form factor, and the Micro ATX motherboards are also very, very reasonably priced. So definitely some good options for you to save some more money on this build. But like I said, $500 in the Mini Itx form factor. This is a great value with really good performance. I think the biggest limiting factor in this build right now is that RX 470 having 4 gigabytes of VRAM. I've gone into more length on that with this card in my RX 470 in 2020 video. You can find that link right up here. But you saw the performance, you saw that it's a good value and good price to performance for this $500 Mini Itx build. I'm going to go over some little details in this case. I showed you when I first started to go over the parts in this that I am using some extension cables, the nice red and black cables here that I have cable combed and nicely tightened up. They make the build look really nice, but if you were to go inside the case, inside that power supply shroud, you would see that they're just stuffed in there like a wasp nest. So it doesn't look good under here or in the back, but inside here where it's mostly visible, looks nice. So that is one factor you want to consider if you're going to go Mini ITX. These extension cables definitely limit your space in here because you're taking up a lot of space with these cables. One thing you could do to mitigate that factor is just getting a fully modular power supply and going to Cable Mod and getting custom cables for the power supply so they're not just extending out the cables that are already provided with the power supply. With that being said, I did misspeak earlier on in this video. I said that this was not a modular power supply. Actually, this power supply was semi-modular. It was a great deal. It was a great surprise and a great deal that I paid as little as I did for a semi-modular power supply. So that was a great surprise, but I just wanted to correct that because this was a semi-modular power supply. All right, and lastly, we do have my EZDIYFAB RGB fans. Great fans for the price. So they got 3-pack with a remote for about $30. Remote is a great way to control your RGB so you don't have to download any of those performance hindering RGB programs or maybe malware causing RGB programs. So with the fan, I think it's a great option for you. And I chose white. I think the white on a black and red system looks really nice. You can, if you wanted to overdo it on the red, you can go red. You have all these different colors here. Green, purple, yellow, orange, you get the picture, even pink. And with buttons, you can control the speed of the lighting. There's an auto button that just cycles through the modes, or mode buttons if you want a specific mode you want to go through. And then also you can change the brightness. But I think white looks the best here, so that's what I'm going to stick to. I think whoever buys this system is going to make up their own mind on what they think looks best. All right, but I think that is going to be it for this system, guys. I think it's a great value for $500 in the Mini ITX format. Remember, I do have some Mini ITX builds I'm going to be doing in the future. So if you like the Mini ITX format and you like the idea of saving money and getting a good performing system with the Mini ITX format, definitely consider subscribing so you can see what I have under my sleeve in the future. Well, that's going to be it, guys. Follow me on Twitter, like it, comment on the video. It will definitely help me with the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm has been punishing me lately because I haven't been so consistent lately. But I've been posting a video once a week for the past month or so now. So hopefully YouTube algorithm starts recognizing me again and starts recommending my videos. But Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.